So hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you and welcome back once again to another class of PIB Current Affairs. In today's class, we are going to cover the PIB news from 12th to 14th of December 2025. I hope you guys can see me properly and can hear me properly. Please give me a thumbs up if yes. And this, my dear friends, would be the last class for NABARD Grade A aspirants who are going to write the examination on 20th of December. And I believe this will be the last class for this year as well. After this, I'm going to restart the classes from 1st of January 2026 for the 2026 aspirants. Right? It's been a very beautiful year for me. Right? And I hope it will be a beautiful year for you as well. And जो भी बचा हुआ टाइम है अभी, क्योंकि आपके पास 20 तारीख को पेपर है, तो मुझे आप डेफिनेटली बताएंगे दैट हाउ इज द एग्जामिनेशन एंड वही दैट इज गोइंग टू डिसाइड हाउ कैसा आपका साल रहा, राइट? एंड इट वाज अ वेरी गुड ईयर फॉर मी एंड दिस एंड लेट मी रिपीट दैट this will be the last class for this year, and after that I'll be restarting these classes along with the government schemes classes, and I have planned something, a lot of things new as well for the 2026 people as well. Phase 2 के लिए अंकुल यू डोंट हैव टू डू पीआईबी फर्दर बिकॉज उसमें स्कोप ही बहुत कम है. 15 क्वेश्चन सीएसआई के आने, 15 क्वेश्चन एआरडी के आने, तो वहां पे क्वेश्चंस का स्कोप बहुत कम होता है. गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स आप लोग बस गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स एनुअल रिपोर्ट्स दोबारा से करके चले जाएंगे, सो दैट वुड बी गुड इनफ, राइट? चलिए लेट्स स्टार्ट माय डियर फ्रेंड्स. एंड देयर आर अ नंबर ऑफ न्यूज टुडे, और एक नबार्ड की रिपोर्ट भी है छोटी सी, जो कि नबार्ड ने लॉन्च करी है रिसेंटली. एंड तो आज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज है, तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं. सबसे पहले न्यूज के लिए आज मैंने क्वेश्चन नहीं बनाए हैं, राइट? वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग द न्यूज एंड देन विल कम टू द क्वेश्चंस इन शॉर्ट. सबसे पहली न्यूज है दोस्तों, बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस ऑफ स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0. सो आई होप यू गाइज रिमेंबर दैट द स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 वाज ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया to promote the digital and sustainable governance. During that special campaign 5.0, some best practices have been identified by the government, which are number 1, Dak Chopal. Number 1 is Dak Chopal. One second. Yeah, number 1 is Dak Chopal. This is for addressing the service related needs at the doorstep of citizens, covering the last mile, and it is obviously an initiative of the Department of Post. Then we have Amrit Samvad by Indian Railways, which is a citizen-centric best practice for providing a direct platform for dialogue between railway authorities and passengers. Railway authorities और passengers के बीच में dialogue establish करने के लिए there is an Amrit Samvad initiative by Indian Railways. Then we have Clean Toilet Picture Challenge. What is it? Cleanliness Reporting Initiative via the Rajmarg Yatra app of the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway. क्लीनलीनेस को रिपोर्ट करने का इनिशिएटिव था. सो इसमें क्या था कि द सिटीजंस वर रिवॉर्डेड विद ₹1000 फास्टैग रिचार्ज फॉर स्पॉटिंग डर्टी एनएच टॉयलेट एट द टोल प्लाजाज. ठीक है, एनएच टोल प्लाजाज पे अगर टॉयलेट डर्टी है तो उसको रिपोर्ट करने के लिए द मिनिस्टर ऑफ रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड हाईवे रिवॉर्डेड सिटीजंस विद 1000 फास्टैग रिचार्ज, राइट? जूट बैग डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इनिशिएटिव विच वाज अ प्लास्टिक फ्री इनिशिएटिव ऑफ द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कोल promoting the use of eco-friendly jute bag. Then there was a cyber security booklet for safe digital banking, right? It was launched by Department of Financial Services. It was titled as Masoom and Samajdar. What is it? Cyber safety booklet. ठीक है, it was launched by the Department of Financial Services. The name is Masoom and Samajdar. Clear? Then we have QR based record management system, right? There was a mobile app that was launched, Abhilekh Abhi. Right, Abhilekh Abhi. It was launched by Income Tax Office of Hyderabad, enabling efficient file inventory management. It was a file inventory management app launched by Income Tax Office of Hyderabad, titled as Abhilekh Abhi. Right, a facial attendance system was launched in post offices in Kanyakumari, Madurai, Tuticorin, and Theni divisions of the Tamil Nadu Postal Circle. A cyber security online quiz titled as Cyber Jagrit Bharat. Cyber security online quiz titled as Cyber Jagrit Bharat was launched for employees to enhance the digital awareness, and it was done by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. Here, e-waste management drive was conducted by Ministry of Mines and Krishi Rakshak portal and helpline, which is a grievance redressal portal for farmers who are enrolled under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. ठीक है जी, क्लियर है? Yeah, good evening and good evening everyone. Let me repeat once again, this is the last class for NABARD Grade A 2026 aspirants, and I will be resuming the classes from 1st of January now. ठीक है, next news my dear friend is द स्कीम ऑफ कंडक्ट ऑफ सेंसस 2027, स्कीम ऑफ कंडक्ट ऑफ सेंसस 2027। तो आपको पता है सेंसस 2027 आने वाला है, and for that the government has approved a scheme of conduct, how it is going to be conducted, right? First of all, the total cost has been approved. What is the total cost for the census 2027? 11,718.24 crores. It will be conducted in two phases. In the first phase there will be house listing and housing census. It will be done from April to September 2026, and in the second phase there will be population enumeration. There will be population enumeration that will be conducted in the month of February 2027, और फिर 2027 में ही हमारे पास डेटा भी रिलीज हो जाएगा, राइट? एंड ये जो इन्यूमरेशन होगा, पॉपुलेशन इन्यूमरेशन फॉर द एरियाज, फॉर द स्नो बाउंड एरियाज ऑफ यूटीज ऑफ लद्दाख, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर and states of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, this population enumeration will be conducted in September 2026. ठीक है, ध्यान रखेंगे. Manish Srivastava is asking any RBI circular to be studied for a NABARD related to agriculture. I don't think that there is anything which is there now to study, that you need to study, because जितना आपने कर लिया है, just that is enough. The enumerators जो होंगे, the enumerators will be, they are generally the government teachers. These are appointed by the state governments and they will be doing the field work of census in addition to their regular duties. ठीक है. It will be the first digital census, my dear friends, of the country. The data will be collected using the mobile applications. A dedicated portal which is titled as Census Management and Monitoring System has been launched, and this portal, my dear friends, will be used for managing and monitoring the entire census process. ये पूरे सेंसस प्रोसेस को मैनेज और मॉनिटर करने का काम करेगा. ठीक है. देन उसके बाद हाउस लिस्टिंग ब्लॉक क्रिएटर वेब मैप एप्लीकेशन टू बी यूज्ड बाय चार्ज ऑफिसर्स. चार्ज ऑफिसर्स कौन से होंगे? वही जो फील्ड ऑफिसर्स हैं, जो कि घर घर जाके डेटा कलेक्शन का काम करेंगे, नंबर 1. दूसरा, हाउस लिस्टिंग ब्लॉक क्या होते हैं? देखो, एक एरिया में कोई एक चार्ज ऑफिसर गया, ठीक है, तो जितने भी घर का उनको ड्यूटी मिला है टू कलेक्ट द डेटा, वो उसका एक चार्ट बनाते हैं, राइट? तो पहले वो रफ चार्ट बनता था उसके ऊपर पेन पेपर से, बट नाउ दैट चार्ट विल बी क्रिएटेड थ्रू द हाउस लिस्टिंग ब्लॉक क्रिएटर वेब मैप मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन. ठीक है जी. मतलब वो कितने घरों का इन्यूमरेशन उन्होंने किया है चार्ज ऑफिसर ने, वो उससे से क्रिएट हो जाएगा. ठीक है. ऑप्शन टू सेल्फ इन्यूमरेट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड टू द पब्लिक, एंड फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम कास्ट इन्यूमरेशन विल बी डन इन द सेंसस 2027, राइट? तो ये है स्कीम ऑफ कंडक्ट ऑफ सेंसस 2027, माय डियर फ्रेंड्स. आई होप इट इज क्लियर. द नेक्स्ट इज अ कैबिनेट अप्रूवल कोल सेतु विंडो. ये मैं आपको बता देता हूँ सिंपल टर्म्स में ये है क्या. देखो, जो नॉन रेगुलेटेड सेक्टर है कोल का, ठीक है, जैसे कि एल्यूमिनियम हो गया, स्टील हो गया, ठीक है, नॉन रेगुलेटेड सेक्टर में अभी तक क्या होता था कि ऑक्शन से केवल जो कुछ जिनके पास कोल लिंकेज होता था, यानी कि एग्रीमेंट होता था, केवल उनको ही ऑक्शन के थ्रू कोयला मिलता था. लेकिन अब जो है कोल सेतु विंडो के थ्रू किसी को भी कोयला मिल पाएगा. एज सिंपल एज दैट, यही हो रहा है. ठीक है. तो कोल सेतु की फुल फॉर्म क्या है जी? कोल लिंकेज फॉर सीमलेस एफिशिएंट एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट यूटिलाइजेशन. और कोल लिंकेज क्या होता है? कोल लिंकेज इज अ लॉन्ग टर्म अरेंजमेंट बिटवीन अ कोल कंपनी एंड अ बायर, राइट? एक मतलब एक एग्रीमेंट हो रखा है बिटवीन अ कोल कंपनी, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कोल इंडिया लिमिटेड, ठीक है, और उस एग्रीमेंट में क्या है? द कोल कंपनी सप्लाइंग अ फिक्स्ड क्वांटिटी ऑफ कोल टू द बायर, ठीक है, लाइक अ सीमेंट प्लांट और स्टील प्लांट. कोल लिंकेज कुछ नहीं है, एक एग्रीमेंट है बिटवीन द कोल कंपनी एंड द बायर, जिसके अंदर जो कोल कंपनी है दैट इज दैट हैज टू सप्लाई a fixed amount or the required amount of coal to the buyer company, right? This Coalsetu window has been created in non-regulated sector linkage policy to utilize coal for any industrial use and export. ठीक है. Since 2016, coal linkages for NRS industries are given through auctions, not free allocations. Now this new policy, Coalsetu policy, will allow the allocation of coal linkages on auction basis on long term for any industrial use and export by adding a separate window named as Coalsetu. किसी भी पर्पस के लिए कोल ऑक्शन के थ्रू हम ले सकते हैं. ठीक है. बट ऑफ कोर्स वो किसी भी पर्पस मतलब वो इंडस्ट्रियल यूज होना चाहिए. घर में खाना बनाने के लिए ऑफ कोर्स आप ऑक्शन तो के लिए तो जाओगे नहीं. इंडस्ट्रियल यूज एंड एक्सपोर्ट्स के लिए अगर मेरे को भी जाके कोल लेना है, प्रोवाइडेड दैट आई हैव द रिक्वायर्ड आई हैव डन द रिक्वायर्ड कंप्लायंस, तो मैं भी जाके कोल सेतु में अप्लाई कर सकता हूं. ठीक है. एंड विद दिस एनी डोमेस्टिक बायर रिक्वायरिंग कोल कैन पार्टिसिपेट इन द लिंकेज ऑक्शन। ठीक है, मतलब बेसिकली नॉन रेगुलेटेड सेक्टर को ना एक्सपैंड कर दिया अब सरकार ने। पहले नॉन रेगुलेटेड सेक्टर में कुछ ही सेक्टर्स थे, जैसे सीमेंट हो गया, स्टील हो गया, एल्यूमिनियम हो गया, लेकिन अब सरकार ने उसको क्या करा, एक्सपैंड कर दिया। नाउ थ्रू द कोल सेतु विंडो एनी डोमेस्टिक बायर can buy the coal through this particular Coalsetu window. ठीक है, and not only this, the coal linkage holders can export up to 50% of the coal they receive. And इसमें ध्यान रखेंगे, the coking coal shall not be offered under this window. इस विंडो में कोकिंग कोल जो है वो ऑफर नहीं की जाएगी। ठीक है, तो ये था दोस्तों क्या है, कोलसेतु विंडो। ठीक है, आई होप इट इज क्लियर। I think I explained in English only, right? So what is going to happen in Coalsetu window? See, the coal, the coal action. See, we have two types of sectors in the coal ecosystem: regulated sector and non-regulated sector. Right? In the non-regulated sector, before this policy, there were a few sectors which were allowed to get coal through the auctions, like for example, cement, steel, sponge iron, aluminum, etc. Now the government realized that the coal is required by a number of other industries as well, and that is why the government has created this Coalsetu window, through which any domestic buyer who needs coal can participate in the linkage auction and can buy the coal from that particular window. ठीक है Jackson, I hope it is clear. That is the whole idea behind this Coalsetu. And yes, one more thing, the coal linkage holders will also be able to export up to 50% of the coal that they receive, and through this window they will not be able to buy the coking coal. Clear? The next news, the very important rural economic conditions and sentiment survey. Right, rural economic conditions and sentiment survey, it has been released by NABARD. It was the 8th round of rural economic conditions and sentiment survey. Right, remember, first of all, this survey is conducted every 2 months across the country since September 2024. Right, since September 2024 it is being conducted every 2 months, right? But fortunately or maybe unfortunately, we have this in PIB right before our examination, so there are huge chances that a question is going to be there from this particular survey, right? What does this survey captures? The survey provides us the quantitative indicators and household perceptions related to income, consumption, inflation, credit, investment and expectations in the rural areas. All right, of course it is the rural areas, and as the name says, rural economic conditions and sentiment survey. It is a sentiment survey. How does the rural household, how do the rural households feel about their increase in consumption, their increase in income? What is their perception about the inflation? What is their perception about the credit, investment, etc. Okay, talking about the key highlights. So this report says that about 80% of the rural households have consistently reported the higher consumption over the last year. Right, now this particular survey, this 8th round of survey, has compared the data with the September 2024. Right, September 2024 के साथ data compare हुआ है, and according to this, about 80% of rural households have consistently reported higher consumption over the last year. 67.3% of the monthly income is now spent on the consumption, which is the highest share since the NABARD started conducted this survey. Clear? 67.3% of the monthly income is going for the consumption. Right. Other than that, 42.2% of rural households experienced income growth. There are 42.2% of the rural households in the country who had experienced income growth in the last 1 year, and just 15.7% reported an income decline of any type. 75.9% expect that their incomes are going to rise next year. In the next year, 75.9% of the rural households feel they perceive that their incomes are going to rise next year. This is the highest level of optimism since September 2024. Okay. What the households feel about the investment? So 29.3% of the households increased capital investment over the past year. Okay. In the past 1 year, 29.3% of the household they have increased their capital investment, right? And this increase in capital investment is driven by the strong consumption and income gains, of course. Okay. Then talking about credit access, to 58.3% of rural households have accessed only the formal sources of credit. However, the share of informal credit is about 20%, which of course needs to get down. Right? What about the government transfers? So 10% of the average monthly income is effectively supplemented through welfare transfers such as subsidized foods, electricity, water, cooking gas, etc. Which means whatever their income is, out of the total income, 10% of their income is coming from the government transfers. Different kinds of social welfare schemes like subsidized foods, electricity, water, LPG cylinder, right? And for some households, this transfer exceeds 20% of their total income. Okay. What about loan repayment and capital investment conditions? So 29.3% of rural households have undertaken increased capital investment during the last year. Clear? And last but not the least, what is the perception about inflation? So average inflation perception moderated to 3.77%. लोगों को लगता है the rural sentiment regarding the inflation is quite moderate. ठीक है, उनको लगता है कि 3.77% के आसपास रहेगा, falling below 4% for the first time since survey initiation. And 84.2% perceive inflation or at below 5%, and nearly 90% expect near term inflation to remain below 5%. ठीक है, 90% लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि जो इन्फ्लेशन है वो अगले नियर फ्यूचर में दैट विल रिमेन बिलो 5%. Clear? So that was rural economic conditions and sentiment survey. I hope it is clear. Now let's talk about the questions in short. But before that, if you want to have the PDF of this class, just scan this QR code, join the Telegram channel and get the PDFs, right? Name the Student Scientist Connect program of CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, launched in 2017 in collaboration with KVS, Kendra Vidyalaya Sangathan, which brings students directly into the ecosystem of science and innovation by facilitating visits to CSIR laboratories. It is Jigyasa. The first board meeting of National Makhana Board, chaired by Dr. Devesh Chaturvedi, who is the secretary in the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, has taken place in New Delhi. So do remember that as well. Where did the first board meeting of National Makhana Board take place? It took place in New Delhi. The Union Government has established the National Makhana Board, fulfilling the announcement made in Budget 25-26. To support this, the government has also launched a central sector scheme for development of Makhana with an outlay of 476 crore for the period of 2025-26 to 2030-31. Outlay याद रखना 476.03 crores, right? At least 476 crore तो याद रखेंगे. With which stock exchange, Department of Post has signed an MOU to expand the mutual fund access across the country, right? Under this MOU, so first of all, let me tell you the answer. It is Bombay Stock Exchange, BSE. And under this MOU, the selected postal employees, they are going to be provided training and they will be certified as mutual fund distributors. And with this, they will be able to provide investor services and facilitate the mutual fund transactions to the BSE Star Mutual Fund platform. So BSE का एक स्टार म्यूचुअल फंड प्लेटफॉर्म है, उसके थ्रू the postal employees will be able to provide the investor services to the general public. But before doing that, they will be provided the required training for this purpose. The duration of this particular MOU, my dear friends, is 3 years. ठीक है, 3 साल का इसका ड्यूरेशन है. Next question, Bharatiya Bhasha Utsav has been organized by Ministry of Education to preserve India's linguistic heritage and promoting multilingualism. What was the theme of the event? The theme was Many Languages, One Emotion. Many languages, one emotion. Yes, it is necessary. 5 days are left, you are right, but these news are from 12th to 14th, which is 1 week before the exam, and they ask question 1 week before the exam, and that is why this session is necessary. Alright. Name the portal of Ministry of Tribal Affairs developed under the Central Sector Scheme, Tribal Research, Information, Education, Communication and Events for the purpose of Tribal Health Repository on the basis of secondary data. It is the Swasth portal. जल्दी खत्म कर लेते हैं. Yes, Mr. C, you should not give a lot of time on this particular session. जल्दी से खत्म करते हैं और फिर आप इसको quickly revise कर लेना. Right? Most of the question will definitely be there from the month of November and the first 10 days of December. Consider the following statements with respect to the revisions introduced in Agriculture Marketing Infrastructure Scheme and identify the correct statements. Margin money requirement reduced from 20% to 10%, not 15. This is incorrect. The construction cost revised from 3,000 to 3,500 per metric ton to 7,000 per metric ton for plain areas and to 8,000 per metric ton for northeastern states. The subsidy increased for PACS from 25% to 33.33%. So this is also incorrect. An additional subsidy of one third of the total admissible subsidy for ancillary infrastructure such as internal roads, way bridges, boundary walls, etc. for PACS. The right answer is option B, only 2 and 4. This is very important based on cabinet approval. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has given its approval for MSP for copra for 2026 season. The MSP for milling copra has been fixed at 12,027 per quintal, and for ball copra it has been fixed at 12,500 per quintal for 2026 season. The right answer therefore is option B. And this, my dear friends, is an increase of 445 per quintal for milling copra and 400 per quintal for ball copra over the previous season. And between 2014 to 2026 there has been an increase of 129% and 127% in MSP for milling copra and ball copra respectively. Clear? India is planning to replace the existing Metri research station with the newly designed Metri 2 station in Antarctica. I hope you know Antarctica में research station है जिसका नाम Metri है. This will significantly enhance India's ability to conduct multidisciplinary scientific research in Antarctica. The projected timeline for Metri 2 to become operational is by 2032. Projected है कि by 2032 तक Metri 2 जो है वो operational हो जाएगा अंटार्कटिका में. Where has the third session of Council of International Organization for Marine Aids to Navigation, IALA in short, been inaugurated by Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways? It was inaugurated in Mumbai, and it is being organized by Directorate General of Lighthouses and Lightships, which works under the ministry. Clear? How many supercomputers with a total computing power of 40 petaflops have been deployed under the National Supercomputing Mission launched in 2015 as of December 2025? So as on December 2025, we have total 37 supercomputers deployed with a total power of 40 petaflops. In partnership with which organization, Union Health Ministry has launched a month-long Delhi Metro campaign on women's and girls' health and well-being. It is, it has been done in partnership with World Health Organization. Ministry of Jal Shakti has launched the Sujalam Bharat app, very important, to enable advanced georeferencing, monitoring and management of rural water supply infrastructure under the Jal Jeevan mission. It has been developed by Ministry of Jal Shakti with support of BICEGN, that is Bhaskaracharya Institute of Space Application and Geoinformatics. क्लियर है जी? क्लियर है? सुजलाम भारत ऐप लॉन्च करी है किसने? मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति ने. किसके साथ मिलकर करी है? बाइसेगन के साथ मिलकर करी है. क्या करेगा ये? इट विल enable the georeferencing, monitor and management of rural water supply. Very important. In which city country's first indigenous hydrogen fuel cell vessel has been launched by Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways? Very important again. देश का पहला indigenous hydrogen fuel cell vessel कहाँ पे लॉन्च हुआ है? It has been launched in the city of Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh. With which company Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya has signed an MOU for knowledge sharing, joint development of academic curriculum and joint research activities? Right, Gati Shakti विश्वविद्यालय ने साइन करा है MOU किस चीज के लिए? नॉलेज शेयरिंग के लिए, जॉइंट डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एकेडमिक करिकुलम एंड जॉइंट रिसर्च एक्टिविटीज. इट इज Amazon. With which company Ministry of Labour and Employment has signed an MOU for employment linkages, scaling AI-led skilling and preparing India's workforce for global opportunities? This company in question is Microsoft. और इसमें ध्यान रखना मंथ लिखा हुआ आएगा दिसंबर, इन द मंथ ऑफ दिसंबर. ठीक है, क्योंकि इससे पहले और भी कंपनीज के साथ MOU साइन हुए हैं. The Ministry of Textiles has launched the GREAT scheme, which stands for Grant for Research and Entrepreneurship across aspiring innovators in technical textile. It has been launched under National Technical Textile Mission with an objective to support startup ecosystem of technical textiles in India by assisting young innovators, scientists or technologists and startup ventures in the field of technical textiles. How much maximum support is provided under the scheme? The maximum support of rupees 50 lakh rupees is provided under the scheme to the startups for developing their new products in the area of technical textiles. President of India has conferred the Shilp Guru Awards and National Handicrafts Awards for 23 and 24. How many total awards were presented? Total 48 awards were presented, out of which 12 were Shilp Guru Awards and 36 were the national awards. ठीक है, 12 थे शिल्प गुरु और 36 थे national awards, right? In which state DRI, Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, has dismantled a clandestine mephedrone manufacturing facility during a targeted operation code named as Operation Hinterland Brew, right? Clandestine mephedrone manufacturing facility during a targeted operation code named as Operation Hinterland Brew. बिल्कुल एकदम जो है ब्रेकिंग बैड चला रखा था इन्होंने, जैसी पिंकमैन मिला है और एक वो मिला है वॉल्टर वाइट. ठीक है, चलो द राइट आंसर इज महाराष्ट्र में मिला था ये, वर्धा में. चलो भाई नेक्स्ट. द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैज लॉन्च्ड अ नेशन वाइड कैंपेन टाइटल्ड आपकी पूंजी आपका अधिकार, योर मनी योर राइट, to facilitate the settlement of unclaimed financial assets. The campaign is built on the 3A framework. Which of the following are the 3 A's? The 3 A's are, my dear friends, awareness, accessibility and action. Up to how much amount of capital subsidy is being provided to individuals, FPOs, SHGs, JLGs, FCOs, farmer cooperative organization and Section 8 companies for establishment of rural poultry breeding farms under entrepreneurship development component of National Livestock Mission? It is 50 lakhs. Name the platform which serves as a management information system platform, data repository and a coordination platform for law enforcement agencies of all states and UTs for cybercrime data sharing and analytics. This platform, my dear friends, is called as what? Samanvaya. Ministry of Jal Shakti has launched Bharat Win portal. Again, important question, which seeks to promote practical, scalable and field-ready solutions to grassroots water challenges, including farm-level water conservation, rural water quality, smart monitoring, revival of traditional water practices, flood and drought management. What does WIN stand for? It stands for Water Innovation Network. Very important. Launched by Ministry of Jal Shakti. The construction activities under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin contribute to the employment generation significantly. The construction of a house under the scheme generates direct employment of approximately how many working person days? 201 person days का जो direct employment है वो generate होता है while constructing the houses under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Very important question. Under the Jal Marg Vikas project, 3 multimodal and 1 intermodal terminal have been developed on National Waterway 1 on River Ganga. Where has the intermodal terminal been developed? तो 3 मल्टीमोडल टर्मिनल्स कहाँ पे डेवलप्ड हुए हैं जी? वाराणसी, साहिबगंज एंड हल्दिया में. और एक जो इंटरमोडल टर्मिनल है दैट हैज बीन डेवलप्ड इन कालूघाट इन बिहार. सो द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन बी. Which IT in collaboration with India AI Mission is hosting a pre-summit event ahead of India AI Impact Summit 2026, which is going to take place in February 2026 in New Delhi. This IIT is IIT Madras and this pre-summit event took place in Chennai. In which district of Kerala, India Post has inaugurated a first of its kind Gen Z post office extension counter. India's first Gen Z post office was inaugurated at IIT Delhi and Kerala's first in the Kottayam district of Kerala. 1 second. Yeah. During 23-24, as per the first revised estimates of GVA at basic prices 2011-12, the GVA of agriculture sector is estimated at 23,67,287 crores, registering a growth rate of just 2.7%. This is again an important question for you. 2-3 क्वेश्चन और बचे हैं, बस थोड़ा सा रुक जाओ. ये अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 27. Organic farming is being promoted in the country through Paramparagata Krishi Vikas Yojana in all states and UTs except the northeastern states, where we have a different scheme that is called as Mission Organic Value Chain Development for Northeastern region. Right? How much financial assistance is provided for a period of 3 years under this mission for creating of FPO support to farmers and for organic inputs? It is 46,500. Do remember under Pradhan Mantri Paramparagata Krishi Vikas Yojana, the amount of financial assistance is 31,500, while under this it is 46,500. Clear? Next question. Rain-fed area development component under RKVY promotes sustainable agriculture production through integrated farming system models developed by ICAR. How much amount of financial assistance per cluster is being provided for capacity building of the farmers adopting IFS? It is 10,000. And the last question for today, my dear friends, and an important one. Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana FPO Sangam is being organized to highlight the role of FPOs in implementation of the scheme. It is being organized by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare in collaboration with the Gates Foundation. ठीक है, चलिए जी, that's it for today's class. That's it for the last class for upcoming NABARD exam. And if you want to have the PDF of this class, just scan this QR code and join the Telegram channel. And let me announce once again, the next class, my dear friends, is going to start for 2026 cycle for both RBI and NABARD aspirants, right? So I'll have a break of approximately 15 days now, and I not break, actually I'll prepare for the 2026 cycle for the upcoming aspirants, and I wish you all the best. The NABARD aspirants, I wish you all the best. मनरेगा न्यूज अभी फाइनल नहीं है भाई, वो उसका नाम चेंज होना है, वो फाइनल नहीं है, फाइनल होगा तब पढ़ेंगे, अभी आपके एग्जाम के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है वो. चलिए, आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट माय डियर फ्रेंड्स फ्रॉम द बॉटम ऑफ माय हार्ट. जैसा भी एग्जाम जाए, प्लीज मेरी एक रिक्वेस्ट आप लोगों से ये रहती है कि आप लोग तमिल सेल्वन, यू प्लीज डीएम मी, आई गिव यू द पीडीएफ रिगार्डिंग दैट. Those are just numbers. I'll give you a short PDF of 1 page regarding that. And yeah, one request, on the exam day, please DM questions on Telegram at Mashi Manish. ठीक है, on the exam day, please DM questions on Telegram at Mashi Manish. All right, all right. क्वेश्चन जरूर भेज देना, और क्योंकि मुझे पता है एग्जाम के दिन तुम लोग गायब हो जाते हो बिना बताए कुछ भी, ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चन जरूर भेजेंगे. एंड लेट मी अनाउंस वंस अगेन, दिस वाज द लास्ट क्लास फॉर NABARD Grade A aspirants and also for the year 2025. The next class I will take from 1st of January. 1st of January को कौन सा दिन है भाई, मतलब जनवरी से अब हम स्टार्ट करेंगे फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट वीक, या 5 जनवरी को मंडे है, उसी दिन स्टार्ट करेंगे. ठीक है, चलिए जी, लेट्स फाइंड इट अप. आई विल सी यू in some other class. Goodbye, take care, wishing you all the best for the exam. Goodbye, take care, and God bless.